If it becomes your habit to think about a person, understand that these 7 things are happening to that person. There's something mysterious about human connection, something science can't fully explain. Yet the heart understands completely. When someone begins to occupy your thoughts day after day, not out of choice, but because your heart feels pulled toward them, it's not just a coincidence. It's not just imagination. There's energy between 2 souls, and when one starts to think constantly of the other, something quietly starts shifting in both lives. You feel it in silence in the middle of the night, when everything else is calm, but one name, one face, keeps surfacing inside your mind. If it becomes your habit to think about someone, if they keep showing up in your heart, even when you try to move on, then understand this, it's not one-sided. The energy you send, the emotion you feel, the longing that rises in you, it touches them too. It changes things in unseen ways. And here's what begins to happen to them when your thoughts start circling around them every day. And they start feeling restless without knowing why. When your energy begins to move towards someone through constant thought, their spirit starts to sense it. They may not consciously think of you at first, but they'll start to feel something shifting, a strange restlessness that appears for no reason. They might suddenly feel distracted while doing normal things. They might have nights where they can't sleep well, or moments when their heart feels heavy even when life seems fine. This happens because thoughts carry vibration. When you think deeply about someone with emotion, especially when it's love, sadness, or longing, that vibration reaches them through the invisible connection that ties 2 people who once shared real feelings or destiny. And that's why they start feeling unsettled when you can't stop thinking about them. Their soul senses the pull, even if they can't explain it logically. It's as if something deep inside whispers to them, someone is thinking of you, someone you once meant something to. Their mind starts bringing you back randomly. Have you noticed how sometimes a random memory of a person comes up out of nowhere? Maybe it's a song, a street, or a time of day, and suddenly their image flashes in your mind. That's exactly what happens to the person you think about constantly. Your energy reaches them as gentle reminders. They might start remembering little details about you, your laugh, your voice, your habits, without realizing why. Sometimes they'll see your name somewhere. Sometimes they'll hear a song that used to play when you were close. Sometimes they'll open social media, and for no reason, your post will show up first. That's not just coincidence. It's energetic alignment. Your thoughts are pulling threads in the unseen, reconnecting small pieces of memory that keep you tied. They may even start to dream about you, or just feel your presence in quiet moments. They won't understand it at first, but they'll notice it's happening more often. And that's how the universe lets them know. Someone out there is still thinking of you deeply. Hey, their emotions start mirroring yours. Emotional energy is powerful. When you think about someone while missing them, feeling love, pain or hope, those feelings carry frequency. And the strange part is when that frequency keeps reaching them, they start to mirror your emotions. If you're anxious about them, they might feel sudden waves of anxiety too. If you feel sadness, they may have unexpected moments of emptiness. If you're feeling peace and sending love, they'll start to feel calm without knowing why. This is especially strong when the connection between you two has been emotionally intense in the past, even if you're apart now. The reason is simple: hearts that once connected deeply don't completely disconnect. They just grow quieter, but they still feel each other. And so when you habitually think of them, you're not just remembering, you're communicating through energy. They may not hear your words, but they'll feel your heart. Or they start sensing you in random moments. Have you ever suddenly felt someone's presence, as if they were near, even though they were miles away? That's how it begins for them too. When your energy becomes focused, when your thoughts of them are consistent, emotional and genuine, they'll start sensing you around them. Maybe they'll feel a strange warmth in their chest, or a wave of calm that passes unexpectedly. Maybe they'll smell a scent that reminds them of you or hear something that sounds like your voice. These are gentle signals of energy resonance. Your thoughts are not staying locked inside your mind. They're moving toward them like invisible waves. They may even pause and look around, wondering why they suddenly thought of you. That's the moment your energy reaches them most clearly. In that instant, both hearts are aligned, even if it's only for a few seconds. 5. They begin to think of you more often too. Once your thoughts keep reaching someone, something interesting happens. They start thinking about you too. At first it's subtle. They'll brush it off as random. But soon they'll realize your name or memory appears, too often to be coincidence. That's when the cycle of mutual energy begins. When two people think of each other repeatedly, it's like both hearts start vibrating on the same wavelength. They'll feel drawn to check your profile, wonder what you're doing, or remember how things felt when you were together. Even if they try to ignore it, the pull will return again, because energy seeks balance. The universe tries to restore what feels unfinished. So if you find yourself thinking about someone constantly, it's not impossible that they've started feeling the same. You might not see the signs immediately, but slowly they'll show up through dreams, timing or messages from the universe that seem perfectly placed. 6. Their life begins to intersect with yours in subtle ways. One of the most mysterious things that happen when your thoughts are strong and consistent is the sudden appearance of coincidences. Maybe they'll show up somewhere near you by chance. Maybe you'll both be online at the same time or visit the same place unknowingly. Maybe you'll get a message or a sign from mutual friends that brings them back into your awareness. These aren't coincidences, they're energy alignments. When you think of someone every day, you're sending ripples through the unseen field of connection that links all living things. Those ripples eventually come back as moments that seem planned by destiny. Sometimes it's not about meeting again physically. Sometimes it's just the universe letting you know the bond is still alive. They may also start noticing patterns like numbers, songs, or dreams that point to you. And that's when they'll realize something is happening beyond logic. That maybe, just maybe, you're both still connected in ways words can't explain. 7. Their soul feels the pull to resolve something with you. When one person keeps thinking about another, it's often the universe's way of saying, there's something unfinished. Maybe it's an emotion that wasn't expressed. Maybe it's love that never got closure. Maybe it's forgiveness that needs to be offered, or healing that's still waiting to happen. And when you keep sending thoughts their way, their soul begins to feel that same pull. They may not consciously know why, but part of them starts feeling like they owe you a conversation, an apology, or a reconnection. That's the spiritual purpose behind this kind of bond. It's not always about romance or reunion. Sometimes it's about growth, reflection, and release. When two souls keep thinking of each other, the universe is trying to make them see something. Maybe about themselves, maybe about love, maybe about timing. But one thing is always true. Energy doesn't flow this strongly without reason. A truth few understand. If someone becomes your constant thought not out of obsession, but because your heart can't help it, it's often because your souls have touched in a way that can't be forgotten. You're not imagining the pull. You're not crazy for feeling connected. You're simply tuned to their frequency. And as long as your thoughts remain pure, filled with warmth, forgiveness, and light, you are silently blessing them every day. But remember, energy multiplies whatever emotion you send. If your thoughts are heavy with pain, they'll feel heaviness too. If your thoughts carry peace, they'll feel calm too. So whenever you catch yourself thinking about them again and again, choose to send kindness. Let your thoughts be like a prayer, gentle, healing, and freeing. Because that's what truly changes everything. That's what keeps the connection sacred instead of painful. In the end, when thinking about someone becomes your habit, it's a sign that your heart has formed a deep imprint. It's not a weakness, it's a reflection of your ability to love with depth. But the more you understand what's happening behind the scenes, in energy, in spirit, in emotion, the more power you have to turn it into something peaceful instead of draining. Remember this: not every person you can't forget is meant to come back. But every person you deeply think of leaves a mark on your journey because they helped awaken something in your soul. So if you can't stop thinking about them, know that somehow they feel it too. And whether it brings you back together or simply teaches you to love more wisely, it's all part of the invisible plan that connects hearts in ways we may never fully understand. You don't just think of someone for no reason. You think of them because your soul's meant for a reason that your mind is only beginning to understand. And as long as your thoughts come from love, they'll always find their way to them, like light traveling across the dark, reaching the heart that once touched yours. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.